Hello, I'm Candler, and with me is Brian. And now the debate begins. A Christmas Story. Is it a good movie? I hate it. Brian loves it. Let's do this.
I'd like to start out by just laying out the movie, if I may.
Please.
So it was a sleeper. It was released in November of 1983. Great year, seems like yesterday. I did go see this in the movie theater, and I immediately liked it. And I became a big Peter Billingsley fan. I already liked him because he was on the show Real People. And then something happened, which was one of my bigger disappointments. I realized that just because someone's in a good movie doesn't mean all their movies are going to be good. Because a few years later, I went and saw The Dirt Bike Kid, starring Peter Billingsley, and it is a stinker. I was there, and boy, that was a pile of hot garbage. Axe and Elf, directed by Favreau. I believe he produces with them, and he seems like a genuinely great guy, and they hit the jackpot. Melinda Dillon, the effervescent Melinda Dillon, Darren McGavin, who's been in 4 billion things, rest in peace. When we were talking about Christmas movies, I just kind of didn't really say much about A Christmas Story, but it occurs to me that Christmas Story is not only my favorite Christmas movie, period.
What?
It always will be.
I did not know this. This is new.
I didn't talk about it. I didn't.
Are you serious?
And this isn't a revelation. It's just that when we were talking about it, I'm very private, as you know. I'm a lone wolf. I'm private. And listen, but this is even going to shock you even more. And if I have a top 25 of all time, I put A Christmas Story in the top 25 ever.
I'm starting to. I think you're doing this just to get under my skin.
No, it's not just because it's almost Christmas. If there's a 25 slots for all my favorite movies, okay? And I can only choose 25. I'm saying that A Christmas Story 1983 makes the list.
Brian. Look, I understand that film is subjective, and if it makes you feel a certain way and it makes you happy, that's great. I'm happy for you. But I have to say, I think in all of our podcasts we've done together, this is the most shocking moment for me ever, that this is your favorite Christmas movie and you're in the top 25. I don't believe it.
You just said a very infamous word. You said look. When someone says look to someone, you have just stepped upon a very high pedestal. And listen, I'd say this. There are so many bad holidays. Let's just put holidays. Christmas kind of looms large. The holiday movies in general are not good. I mean, they're not quality. There's a place for these. Hallmark has a big fan base, but it's kind of the same general themes. You have It's a Wonderful Life, which I always will say is a.
Now, how is that not in your top 25? And how is that not your favorite Christmas movie?
It's a big. I love it, but it's a very long Twilight Zone episode. To me, and I love it. I tell you, I know it by rote as well. But it's not there. I mean, again, the 25 thing is weird, and it's going to be moving and interchangeable. It's not going to.
Well, it needs to change right now, or at least change in January. I can't believe this.
Tell me why you dislike this. By the way, written by the great Gene Shepard, who's also the who does the voiceover for young Ralphie. Directed by Bob Clark. And if you have the DVD, he still has commentary.
No, I don't have the DVD.
I didn't think so. But if you ever did, the commentary that he gives on the movie is quite good. Okay, so tell me why you loathe A Christmas Story.
All right, let me tell you about things I like about it. I think it's well acted. I don't think anyone's bad in the movie. I like everyone in it. I guess that's it. There was like one or two other things, but I just don't like it. The writer. So the writer is also the voiceover.
Gene Shepard, yeah.
Well, that's one of the things I hate about the movie. I like voiceovers in movies for whatever reason.
It's kind of a sorry to interrupt. It's kind of a precursor to the Wonder Years, how Daniel Stern did the voiceover.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And I never liked the voiceover in the Wonder Years. Yeah. All right. Well, let me go through it. So I don't like voiceovers in movies. I think that I think the movie could have worked really well without it. One, it's set in the 40s, but it feels like the 80s, but not even in a fun way, like the way Grease is. Grease is set in the 50s, but it's the 70s, but it's kind of fun. It doesn't have that. It doesn't bring me any warmth that a holiday movie would bring me. I think I resent the movie because it makes me feel a certain way about certain scenes that I know the movie doesn't want me to feel. Like the tongue, I am just like completely freaked out for the kid. Like I can't enjoy the comedy of it because I'm just like, I'm just like horrified. And then
that's Scott Schwartz, by the way, who also was in a movie called Kidco that I saw in the theater as well, which is don't rent Kidco, but he was.
I will not.
He had a small career, and then he did other things that you don't want to know about. Keep going.
Now, Brian, I'm going to ask you this, and I need you to be completely honest. You've known me a long time. Would you, because someone could be watching this is the first thing they see of us. Do you think I have a sense of humor and I laugh at things, right?
You have a sense of humor and you laugh at things. Now, everyone has a sense of humor, but it's also a degree of those things, right? It's like, yes, you have a terrible sense of humor, sir. I think you have a, I have so many memorable Candler Bud stories, and they all involve me laughing about something you have done or said. So yes, of course.
Okay. I just don't want, if someone's watching us for the first time, this guy doesn't understand comedy.
Yeah. You're the biggest bah humbug in this whole thing, no matter what. You can't win. So I admire the wherewithal you have to just knock this one out of the park. Okay.
It just brings out all these weird emotions. I'm annoyed with the dad. I think he's a great actor. Tell me the name of the actor's name.
Darren McGavin.
He is great. He's great.
5 billion credit. I mean, just all you have to do is go to.
Oh yeah.
I don't look at IMDb, but he has so many things that he's done. And he's also like Night Stalker, like television, movies, everything. So good.
He's great. He's too old for the part. By the way, I heard recently that Jack Nicholson was offered or read the script, liked the script, but they couldn't afford him. So that would have been interesting. But I think
what if the dad, the old man, was just, he was an older gentleman that just happened to have kids.
True. But again,
that's me, right? That's also me. I'm an older dad. So
I am too.
That's true. We're two older dads. Like
yes.
I'm going to be at some point I'm going to be grandpa dad. They're going to say, "Oh, that's so nice that he's walking with his grandpa." That's his Diddy. And it's because we're in the South. It's Diddy.
That's Diddy.
That's his Diddy, not his granddaddy.
The thing with the lamp is really weird. Look, I have a dad that is a man's man, and that none of that would have happened. That's just weird. That is so bizarre to me. It takes me out of it. He reads the paper every day. He would know what fragile means. Even as a kid, I thought that was a dumb joke. I'm like, he knows what I knew what fragile was, and I was a dumb kid.
So I take it you didn't like it when the bowling ball rolled onto him and he did the age-old like high-pitched thanks a lot.
Actually, I think I might have liked that part.
Okay.
But, I think I laughed at that. Thanks a lot. But and the bullying, it makes me mad that the parents or the adults aren't paying attention to the obvious bullying that's going on. Like that takes me out of it. Is it in the 40s or it feels more the 80s than the 40s? I already said that.
Well, look at the cars. They're not driving around in
yeah
Pleasantville. Like the cars are like jalopies.
Yeah.
I think they purposely, you read about this and they say there's purposely not a set year, but it's obviously late 30s, early 40s, pre WW2.
Right. And I remember, I know what it's like to be a kid and really want a toy or really want something for Christmas.
Yeah.
But I don't know. In my world, like I always wanted a dirt bike or a three-wheeler. My dad said, "No, I'm an insurance salesman. I've paid death claims on these kids. There's no way you're getting a," and it just, well, I wasn't getting it. And so even as a kid, that annoyed me. I was just like, "Get over it, kid. You're not getting the stupid BB gun." I was just like, it's the same reason why I don't like Jingle All the Way. I'm just like,
no one likes Jingle All the Way.
Really? Really? Oh, well, good. Then I don't feel as crazy.
It's one that's on because Schwarzenegger and Phil Hartman are in it, but it's not. It's not beloved. If it is, I mean, there's probably one like, "Hey, I like that." Right? Okay, good. You like, to each his own, of course. That's why this is fun. To each his own.
Absolutely.
By the way,
Absolutely.
I would have loved to have been the fly on the wall to hear your dad say that to you, because that actually is that's a funny monologue for a movie, because it's so harsh.
Oh yeah. Say. Let me tell you something. This is what he said. I paid three death claims. I'll tell you what, those things are dangerous. They'll kill you. I'm telling you. You ain't getting one. No way.
I can see your young self like kicking the dirt right after that. And by the way, everybody, Candler looked like a young Malfoy from Harry Potter when he was a kid. So like, think about Malfoy being very upset about not getting a three-wheeler and then kicking the dirt in his cul-de-sac.
But guess what? I got over it. And what else? The thing with the mall and the slide, that was stupid to me.
That seemed fun. Like, I think the Santa Claus was horrendous, but to me, getting on a slide after Santa Claus would be pretty fun.
Yeah. My wife brought up an awesome point. We don't agree on hardly anything as far as television and film. And she said that the memes about it and what other people say about it is funnier than the actual movie. And I think that is absolutely true.
What's a meme? I'm just kidding. Is it a GIF or a GIF?
It's a GIF or a GIF, but the references are funny. Oh, fudge, all that, and
right. So I think that what has, to me, played some havoc with the popularity is that I liked it. I hate when people say this kind of stuff, but I liked it way before TNT overplayed it. And so for me it's kind of like the way Star Wars is. I don't want anybody to be a Star Wars fan. I don't care. What I mean by that is like, it's always going to be a popular property. But for me, it's like everybody who grabbed a hold of A Christmas Story and they kind of, it just made a life of its own, which is great. That says something, that it resonates. Like, it's always going to be here. The theme of how you as a kid get wrapped up in Christmas and all of those trappings are going to be pretty universal with most kids that celebrate Christmas. And
I want to say this: he is great. He is. I do enjoy him.
And I infamously dislike child actors. I just feel bad for them, because that behind the scenes they just have a terrible parent pushing them in this awful industry to be kid actors. I like Barrett Oliver of The Neverending Story and Cocoon, and I like Peter Billingsley. Those are the two ones I will put thumbs up by those guys. I mean, it's a vignette vehicle. Like, it's all it is one thing after the other. And what I like about it is nothing to me really falls flat. So you're going to have for the old man, right? Darren McGavin, he's got the furnace that he's got to deal with. He's got the Bumpus's dogs. He has the lamp and that thing. You got the bully.
The lamp is so weird. That is so weird to me. It's like the grandparents in Willy Wonka that all sleep together in the same bed. It's that weird to me. It's just like, ugh.
So to me, if you hated that, you'll hate this. I thought it was funny that when the lamp finally meets its doom, he buries it on the side yard. Like, he didn't put it in the trash can. He buried it like a body. And he's like, I think I could heard I heard taps playing.
Hearing you say that is funny. It's kind of like what my wife said about the movie. It's like hearing people talk about it or the memes about it. It's funnier than the movie itself.
So the bully. Everybody can deal with jerks. We all have jerks, or I've said this before. You're a bully and a jerk, or you've had to deal with jerks and hopefully punch their lights out. So everybody loves that Scut Farkus gets his comeuppance in this movie. We are all Ralphie in that instant. You mentioned the triple dog dare scene with Schwartz and Flick. Poor Flick loses that battle. That has become infamous, putting your tongue to the flagpole. The fudge component, of course, which is, that's where everybody gets the washing your mouth out with soap, of course.
By the way, my mom did do that to me one time.
There you have it. She got it from Christmas Story.
She did not get it from Christmas Story, I promise you, but she did. I did.
This made the poster. I always hate DVDs, by the way, because they never give you the original movie poster. This is not the original.
You have the DVD. That is amazing. Did you buy it?
No. Yes. A, B, or C. I could either have stolen it. I could have made this with my own two hands, or I actually bought it. Yeah, so I bought it.
Fair enough.
And now it's a silly prop behind a dumb wall. The bunny suit that Aunt Clara gives Ralphie is that's kind of everybody's, like having to deal with out of touch relatives. And then we have the classroom scenario with Miss Shields. And we also get into something I really like, which I've always wanted to explore a little bit more, because it's sort of like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. The idea that you are living out your fantasies. And I love that in movies. So for him to have all these kid fantasies about him being the hero to his family, him going blind because of the soap, all those, him like being a hero because he wrote the best essay. Like I love all the kid daydreams. That's fun to me. Secondly, or lastly, or thirdly, or mostly, there's something about the Little Orphan Annie decoder ring I'd like to talk about. So we all get wrapped up in kid toys, this merchandise. I've been wrapped up in it. We all are kind of slaves to the merchandise. This is the perfect time of year for that. So he gets the decoder ring, he gets the secret, he goes into the bathroom. It's very fraught with tension. Randy's got to go to the bathroom. His mom's yelling at him. He's trying to do the decoder ring. The music is very intense. And then he realizes it's just a commercial, right? Be sure to drink your Ovaltine, right? And so Gene Shepard's dialogue leaving is, I went out to face the world again, wiser. I always like that line, because that is true. Like, we all realize at some point we are just, it happens with his the BB gun, right? He is wrapped up in the world of commercialism and getting toys. I guess that didn't end as poignantly as I wanted it to, but I guess you get the idea. You have the floor.
No, I liked it. You made a good pitch. I started thinking, wait a minute, am I wrong about all this? I'm not wrong.
My question, of course, is this: could you, my friend Candler, spend some time watching it this season? It's not very long. That's another thing. Some movies, good grief, why I have to cut it into 3 parts. You can get this one out of the way because it's actually a good length. And then would you maybe think about it, watching it from a different perspective,
I would be open to that. Of course, I was surprised that I'm not able to watch it for free now. It's like with everything I have. I mean, of course I can drop a few bucks, but with all the different streaming things I have, that I don't have that movie available to me.
When I stole this DVD, I realized that I was going to be using it year after year after year. So, we watched Christmas Vacation last night. This is the fun time, just when everybody goes to bed, we'll watch stuff. But I would say this, I'm going to go back to my initial thought. There are not that many wonderful, magical Christmas movies, and maybe they're, when I say that, people are like, what about Miracle on 34th Street,
Miracle on 34th Street.
There's a lot of great, I'm sure you have. There's a few hilarious ones that I've watched on Hallmark, and then you just watch them because they're hilarious and they don't mean to be. They don't mean to be hilarious. They're just absolutely ridiculous. It's the girl that doesn't want to, or the woman that doesn't want to celebrate Christmas, or is wrapped up in her work, and she has a cell phone, and she's single, and she meets the man who has the daughter, and they have a Christmas tree farm, and he is very rugged, and he wears a lot of flannels. And the town is magical, and there's
yes.
There may or may not be somebody who's Santa Claus, right? There's one that, what would you watch for joy? I mean, it's great to be with family and have fun doing all that stuff, but in terms of the movie stuff, like, if it's not It's a Wonderful Life, what would it possibly be?
Elf. I mean, up until last year, my daughter was afraid of parts of Elf. Like when he faints, it just wigs her out. But Elf, I think, is wonderful.
Jon Favreau directed.
Jon Favreau.
And a little tidbit, he and Will Ferrell, is that how you pronounce his name?
Wait a minute, I'm the one that mispronounces the names all the time, not
Wilford Ferrell. I don't think they got to get along, so there's no Elf 2 because they didn't get along. Little known tidbit, and there you have it. Who couldn't get along with?
Wait, did they really not get along?
Yeah, who couldn't get along with Jon Favreau?
Wait, is that true? I've never heard that before.
The savior of Star Wars. You can't get along with the savior of Star Wars?
I'm surprised to hear that, but I'm glad there's not an Elf 2. We don't need an Elf 2.
Elf 2, perfect. Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Book. That is a deep cut, my friend.
Thank you.
Here's my.
I still love. I mean, if you watch Turbo Dancing with That Broom, and that's probably in part 1. Boogaloo Shrimp.
Part 1.
Boogaloo Shrimp. That guy is so talented. And he does he dances on the ceiling, a la Fred Astaire.
Part 1.
In part 1 as well, not part 2.
Part 2, he's in the hospital and he's about to die, and then he's in the hospital bed. Then he gets out. It's pretty cool.
There was supposed to be a Christmas break-in, but it never happened.
That would have been amazing.
So what's your favorite, if not for the greatest one of all time?
It might be Elf. It might be Elf. I can't believe I'm going to say that because it's so recent.
Elf is fun. I mean, listen, Elf is great. I give you that. And it's going to be one that stands the test of time.
The only thing I don't like is why is Santa Claus cursing? I mean, I know it's
our ears are very dainty audience.
It's like, why? It's Santa Claus.
I do not like profanities in my movies.
Well, I don't like Santa Claus saying that stuff.
Don't forget Peter Billingsley is in Elf. Don't forget it with those
he's wonderful.
Blue eyes.
I like Peter. I really do like Peter Billingsley. I think he's great.
He is wonderful, and
he seems like a good person. I think I would like him if I knew.
I like that kind of stuff. Anybody who, I mean, again, he's also gone through the travails of, if you're doing anything with the Hollywood, you got to deal with a lot of junk. So for him to continue to do well, we're happy for him. And he's got this movie that he'll always be remembered for. Melinda.
He was, sorry to interrupt. He was also in a very interesting documentary about the Challenger explosion tragedy. Because he was there as a child star. He was part of some committee for NASA, and he was there and at that young age. So that was sorry that he experienced that, obviously, but it was interesting to see.
I'd love to send that link. That's actually good for anybody who's watching this. That to me makes me, that brings it down a bit. It makes it somber because of course we remember that, and I would love to hear his experience about that. Back to it. Candler brought it down. I'm going to try to raise it back up. Genuinely, most people who know me know that I actually don't like much. Like I'm pretty discerning, not a snob, but I'm like, if you actually go through, if you're, doing this.
What's the difference between discerning and a snob?
Discerning sounds nicer. It makes me look better.
Here's my prediction, and it would be interesting to come back in 10 years, 20 years.
20 years. Let's meet here in 20 years.
In 20 years.
Will the pandemic be over? We hope.
I know, right?
In 20 years. Okay, so I will put this in the time capsule.
In 2040.
Yeah,
that's crazy. 2040. But I think that when you look at most popular Christmas films, I think in 2040, Elf will be on that list. White Christmas will be on that list. Some other movies will be on that list. I think Christmas Carol will not be on. I think that movie's going to go way down.
You're saying A Christmas Story.
I mean, A Christmas Story. I'm sorry. Christmas. See, I don't even like the name. It's forgettable. It's like Christmas Carol. No, it's Christmas Story.
How about Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas? That's one.
That's a much better. But my point is that film will go down in popularity.
It's just going to go. It's going to start plummeting.
Yeah, I think it's just it caught the right people at the right time at the right age.
Sure. Okay.
So I think that I don't think that movie's going to. Here's something random I like about the movie.
Yeah.
The dad chair that looks like the placement of the chair in that room backed up to the stairs. That looks like a very comfortable place to read the newspaper.
Yeah, and that's where the Bumbus's dogs all go by. Yeah. Dude, those dogs take care of that turkey. I mean, bam. And then it's almost like the camera's like sped up, like the dogs zoom out of there going 1,000 miles an hour.
And it stresses me out. It stresses me out. I'm just like, the turkey.
I tell you what, if you watch that last scene where they eat that duck in the restaurant, and the guy takes that what do they call that? That's the word I don't know. The butcher knife, the
cleaver.
The cleaver. Thank you. Whew. The cleaver and hacks that duck's head off. And that's one take, man. That's like, I'm telling you, I love a one take guy. He hacks that thing off, puts it in his pocket. It's like sticking out, it's like the duck head sticking out. He takes it out. Again, that's good. That's good movie stuff. And a lot of times, listen, for me, it's nostalgia too. I can be very honest that nostalgia sometimes takes a front seat with me. So certainly I was there in 1983. And so having it there with me makes it to where I have fond memories.
Here's another thing. I don't think adult Candler feels this because I haven't seen this movie in so long, but I think kid Candler liked the dirt bike kid more than he liked A Christmas Story.
That's a stinker, man.
Yeah. I may not feel that way now if I saw it now, but
it's like Stuart Pankin,
I remember there were things about it I liked. I saw it one time.
All you need to know is this. When you're watching Peter Billingsley on the dirt bike, the stunt guy is clearly not Peter Billingsley, right? So you see an older gentleman. It's kind of like when you watch E.T. You're not going to ever watch E.T. again, right? But if you watch E.T., all the BMX stuff at the end. Oh yeah, which is the best reason to watch it is like C. Thomas Howell's stunt double getting rad on his Huffy or his Haro or Redline or whatever. But all those guys, it's obvious. It's like, these are professional BMX riders, like Elliot. Like Elliot's up there.
Yeah.
Like, that's not Henry Thomas. Yeah. That's a BMX rider.
Yeah. That's not a walkie-talkie. It's a gun. Oh, I'm on a walkie-talkie.
I don't watch that version. They've changed that back too, by the way. How embarrassing. If anybody doesn't know, Spielberg did a version of E.T. where the FBI guys don't have guns. They have walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah.
For him to do that I know he's embarrassed. Happy birthday, Spielberg. I think it's his birthday.
Well, yeah, and it also goes sometimes Hollywood likes the FBI, sometimes they don't. And that was in a period where they liked the FBI, so they...
South Park did a very funny episode about the Raiders of the Lost Ark that. If you want to watch the South Park Raiders of the Lost Ark, I can't remember what it's called, but it's where they're changing everything about Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it's perfect for how they change everything in movies and make it terrible. Everything's terrible, really, isn't it, Candler, in the long run?
Yes, but not as terrible as A Christmas Story. I'm Candler.
I'm Brian.
This has been fun. We'll see you next time on Grab the Remote.